thrill with darkness and silence through the night.
What did you see, Tim?
Well, I saw Hideo Kojima fly across this screen 3 times.
3 times?
3 times.
Wait, okay, we'll go back here. I'll turn down the volume.
I turned down the volume.
But,
So it was like story directed and story by.
oh, you're right.
Hideo Kojima. Ruined the intro. We're sorry, but yeah.
No, that's okay, and I think we'll work with that because it was a little. We don't have to do the exact same kind of intro every time.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the IT department.
Mm-hmm.
And anything for maintenance, Ian?
Yes.
What?
What? Just a bit of news for me on the podcast. This week, I watched Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
And that is a quality film. Oh my goodness. Like, it's one of those rare movie experiences where you finish it and, like, you don't just leave, like, just thinking about it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that was cool and so was that. Like, you leave, like, pondering and, like, reflecting. You leave, like, frustrated, but, like, more than satisfied at the same time. It's one of those movie experiences.
Was Harrison Ford in it?
He was actually in less than half the movie, which I liked because that told me that, like, when they made this movie, they didn't want to rely on your nostalgia too much in the movie.
Yes.
So they were just like, we're going to bring in Harrison Ford's character when he really becomes necessary in the story.
Yeah.
So, and he was at that point in the film. So it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So
that's pretty long.
It was long, but well worth it.
Longer than The Last Jedi.
It is longer than The Last Jedi, but I didn't watch it all in one day. I watched the first half on Tuesday. And even just the first half left me like, oh my goodness, like, holy crap, this is a great film. And then Thursday I finished the second half. Same reaction times 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah. I hope that movie gets at least 1 Oscar, because it was nominated for, I think it was Best Visual Effects, Best Cinematography, and Sound Design and Sound Mixing.
I could see it for sound design.
Yeah.
Blade Runner always has
Yeah.
Blade Runner has been like known for its synth and sci-fi sort of sounds.
I hope cinematography is too, because the visuals in that film are just breathtaking. Every single, like, panning shot especially, it's just like, that is. And I watched some visual effects reels later about, like, when they were making the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, they constructed some models as well, but they also did, like, entire digital cityscapes and enhancements, and it was just like, oh my goodness, this movie. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's a bit of maintenance for me. Blade Runner 2049. I highly recommend that movie to anybody.
Okay. That was maintenance,
Yeah.
I guess. So,
You didn't have any?
No, I didn't have anything.
Oh.
Maintenance is like their least used department. You just use it for like what I would put in R&D.
It's true.
All right, so now we're gonna move into R&D as spoken, and so Ian, I'll let you go first.
Yeah. So the first thing I have here for earned is a little bit of a thing here where Matt Reeves, for those of you who don't know, Matt Reeves was the director of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes, and he was slated to direct the Batman solo film entitled The Batman.
Yeah.
And apparently there's been lots of rumors recently that he's wanting or planning to leave. And we got from a really good source that those rumors aren't true. And that really good source is Matt Reeves himself.
Yeah.
Who said in a tweet, it ain't so, smiley face, bat, thumbs up emoji.
And they're all emojis. Or he typed out smiley face and bat, but he put that thumbs up emoji.
Yes, that's and then there's asterisks around the smiley face.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that little thing there. Take that for what you will, because I really like the work he did on the Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah.
What else has he done? I can't say I would remember
To
off
the
the top
internet.
of my head.
To the internet.
Matt Reeves movies.
He did Let Me In.
Oh yeah, it was Cloverfield. Yeah.
He did, and he had this is Andy Serkis below him.
Yeah.
Future Shock, 1993. Oh, he did Planet of the Apes triple feature. Remember that one? Planet of the Apes triple feature is just all three of the movies.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Alright, there you go.
He did the triple feature. He just compiled them together. He made a nice montage.
Yeah. There you are.
All right.
Yeah.
So
This is my first bit of news there.
I'm gonna start talking to Ian about his most favorite thing that he likes ever, which is Star Wars Rebels.
I thought you were going to say Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah, no, I can talk about that as well,
No.
but there's actual new stuff for it this week as well. So.
Well, you can if you want them. That's
Yeah,
fine.
but with Star Wars Rebels,
Time travel!
yeah, there's time travel now, which did you see what it looked like?
I saw a video that someone had put together of the Darth Vader Ahsoka fight, like
Yes.
side by side in the timelines. Like on the left side of the screen, it was like the season 2 timeline, and on the right side of the screen, it was the season 3 stuff,
Yeah.
and they blended it together. So I was like, hey, nice. I watched the Ahsoka Vader fight
Yeah.
before. I'd never seen the whole
I only
episode.
watched it because of the Darth Maul.
But yeah, I saw the fight.
Yeah.
And you know, the reactions like, ooh, it's like who's live, who's dead, kind of thing. And then,
Darth Vader, of course, alive.
well, yeah, sorry, episode 4 and episode 5 and episode 6 and everything afterwards, it's not canon anymore because Vader's dead.
Yeah, he's dead now.
That would be a move that no one would ever support.
Yeah, but I also watched a video because I think they said that the guy, like when they talked about the time travel, like in the article I read, they explained time travel as time is just something the Force is like brought in, and if you become attuned with the Force enough, time just has no meaning, and like you can see like all points of time at the same point.
So it's the ending of Interstellar,
I guess
just
so.
with the Force.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, in that giant room he enters with all the doors, and he's in a Jedi temple on Lothal, the dumb planet they introduced, and so he enters the temple.
Is the temple cool at least?
Yeah, the temple is really cool, and the room and like the time travel space is super cool.
It's like a black room, like yellow.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, white outlines.
Yeah, white outlines, and like and what it basically is that Ezra, he's not really in tune with the Force enough, but because he's in the Jedi temple, the Force is so concentrated, and also there's Force wolves or something that help him time travel.
Force wolves.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they more relevant than the crystal fox things?
Oh yeah, because like Kanan died,
Yeah, I heard.
and then he became a wolf with the Force,
Okay.
which is dumb, but you know.
Still more relevant than the crystal foxes
Yeah.
on Crate.
Yeah, but they don't look as good.
Well, that's true. We're weighing the pros and cons here.
Yeah, but basically, he enters there and he's like walking around because the Force, like you can see all throughout time. That's why he's able to see the Ahsoka fight. But then as he's walking, like I saw a video. If you want to pause the podcast, really quick and watch it, that has all the voices and like all the faces that are speaking the voices.
Oh,
If you want to watch that real quick, we can do that so you can get more context.
more context as to what's going on. Pause.
All right, we're back. And so what did you think of that?
I thought that's very cool.
Yeah.
What they're doing there. I think when you first told me about the time travel thing, I was like kind of worried
Yeah, I was worried as well when
because it's not something you usually associate
I first heard about it. Oh yeah,
with Star Wars. Because Star Wars is sci-fi, but you don't think of it as sci-fi.
Yeah, no.
It's kind of its own thing. It's the space opera, adventure kind of thing.
Space
you don't think
western.
you don't think of it as like when you think of sci-fi, you don't think of Star Wars. You think of like Star Trek or stuff like that. So when you said time travel, I'm just like, oh, how are they going to do that? While still making it, and then it makes sense the way they did it, I think.
Yeah.
And those episodes like that in Rebels are like the ones where it's actually interesting.
Yeah. It also did a lot more to like connect itself to Clone Wars, where it had the 3 Force beings, the father, the daughter, and the son.
Yeah.
It had all 3 of them in the temple represented.
And I quite enjoyed that episode in Clone Wars as well.
Yeah.
It was like wasn't it 3 parts?
I'm pretty sure it was.
3-parter? Yeah.
And it does quote that a lot in a lot of the voices because you saw they had Qui-Gon.
It would make sense that
And
they
then-
would quote that episode because...
And then also quoting the father and the daughter as well. And,
It'd actually be kind of funny when Ahsoka arrived in the place.
yeah.
She just, like, started hearing her own stuff. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, well, that brings me back to an interesting question. It's like, of all things to change in history, you could have changed Order 66.
Yeah, he could have. But I don't know. But the owl.
I know they wouldn't.
Yeah, they would.
Because, you know, then that really does ruin everything else happening after that.
Yeah. He had the
and-
chance, though. The chance.
Yeah, the power. But, and it would make sense to do an action that would affect the Rebels storyline.
Yeah.
Because Ahsoka was not in the series up until that point, right? After that, was that the season 2 finale?
Yeah, that was the season. She stopped being in the series completely after that. I'm pretty sure she actually did die.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in it before. It's like she was under a code name that the captain, the Twilight lady,
Yeah.
kept talking about. Like she was like secret intelligence, and like, she helped the rebellion a lot. But she didn't know Anakin was Darth Vader, and so did like almost no one.
Yeah. So, like, really canonically, she's dead.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think this though does bring her back into canon or something. But I don't know. I don't remember because I didn't watch the episode. I just remember reading after he saved Ahsoka. Something happened with like the time force or something, and the temple collapsed on itself. And then you see the Force Wolves, which I'm kind of don't like. You see Kanan's Force Wolf, and he runs away, and hopefully the Force Wolves never come back.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So time travel now.
Well, I hope it's not a continual thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like that one episode in the Clone Wars where I can't remember the name of the place they went, but if that was a consistent thing in the Clone Wars, I'd kind of get a little.
Is that the one with the like? Completely made of force, pretty much.
Like no, the father, the son, and the daughter. Yeah,
that was the planet, like completely.
Yeah, if that was a very consistent thing in the Clone Wars, that would, I think, get too weird.
Yeah.
And so, as a one-off, just like to tell a story arc, it works.
Yeah.
But then it needs to get back to the.
I also like how the time travel place looks because it looks like.
Yeah.
Like it just entirely empty.
Mm-hmm.
Like because the force is invisible. Like you said, it does kind of look like a crappy JPEG of space, but probably just because it is.
Yeah,
far away.
I'd said during the video, well, especially in the beginning, not really towards the end because you're focusing on other things.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the video, like when what's his name, Ezra,
Yeah.
first arrives in the place.
Yeah.
The starry background looks like a low pixel JPEG, but oh well.
Yeah. Ezra's just kind of Aladdin with a lightsaber.
And well, neither Tim and I know why they're in Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
If you are a regular viewer of Star Wars Rebels, we apologize for.
Yeah, for not continually talking trash on the show. I mean, neither of us really watch it, but we just don't like it because they have thin lightsabers, and it's not Clone Wars.
Toothpick lightsabers?
Yeah. Well, Darth Vader did have a toothpick lightsaber in the one toy where he goes like this and grabs a toothpick for his lightsaber. You seen those toys?
No.
Where he has his cape, and in the cape there's a bunch of toothpicks, and if you press a button, his arm just goes to his cape, a toothpick comes out, he puts it in his hand, and he goes like this, and he has a toothpick lightsaber, and it's all like red and everything.
We know the inspiration now.
Yeah.
There we go. We've got it.
Also, I think, actually, if I remember correctly, the reason the temple crashes is Palpatine senses Ezra's in there.
That's right. Palpatine was in there.
Yeah, and he tries to steal Ezra's power through time, and then the temple collapses in on itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened.
As you can see, nobody likes Jedi temples.
Yeah.
Because they're always being attacked and crumbling.
Being shot at, and just Jedi sanctuaries in general just knocked into place.
Poor things. Like, my gosh.
People die there. Like, the guardians of, the temples also don't have a good job. I mean, Last Jedi, you see them, their entire, things destroyed. This one girl shows up.
Oh.
I was washing my blaster, and it went off. And just a giant hole, and these, frog things are like, the heck?
What to heck? Alright, so continuing along in our Star Wars news here. To The Last Jedi. We move to The Last Jedi here. This thing saying Mark Hamill and Andy Serkis have not come to terms with their characters' fates in The Last Jedi.
Right.
No. So this is what Mark Hamill has said to the BBC. I refuse to believe that he's gone. Of course, referring to Luke.
Yeah.
My theory is that he just teleported to somewhere else and left his robe behind. He teleported to a nudist colony.
Yeah.
That is what I'm hoping. Some good Mark Hamill humor there.
Yeah.
Offering up something.
I kind of hope that, like, I had this like thought in my head. What if it just skips to like 10 years later, and like Rey is training a bunch of Jedi, and like instead of having a Jedi council, she just like goes to a room and a bunch of Force ghosts pop up, like
That'd be cool.
like Yoda,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, Luke, and
The best kind of council.
yeah, and then you have Qui-Gon, the only ones that know how to become Force ghosts.
Yeah.
And they just have like a council there, and she just talks to them on advice, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool.
Because if they're Force ghosts, they become one of the Force.
The
So
Force is with them.
they know how to do all the stuff.
Yeah.
And they know how the Force works. That's not how the Force works, but they know how it works.
Yeah, I think it was said like we never see Qui-Gon become a ghost, and the only time we do is on the planet in Clone Wars, and that's because the Force is centered there and it's strong enough for him to appear there. But like a lot of people don't know if Qui-Gon become a Force ghost. I think it's canon, and like they made a comic book for Return of the Jedi. And when Darth Vader is dying, I think it's canon. This might be Legends now, but I think it's canon that Qui-Gon Jinn, like behind Luke when he was.
I think I've seen this illustration.
So Darth Vader's dying. You see Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda all watching him as he returns to his good side.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing this picture.
Yeah.
It might
It's
be.
the first one.
It might be a real. Yeah. This image. Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite liked it.
I don't know if it's a real image.
I
think it used to be.
I think what I saw it may have been fan art, but I really don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was like canonical at one point.
Yeah. But I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good picture.
I like it. Yeah.
And Liam Neeson should come back anyway. So yeah.
I do like Liam Neeson.
All right, and so
What did Andy Serkis say about his character? Serkis, who played Supreme Leader Snoke, also recently admitted at the
BAFTAs.
British Academy Film and Television Awards, I think.
Yeah, television. Something.
That he would gladly return as mysterious villain in an upcoming Star Wars sequel. Says, it's a great character, and I'd be keen to return. I know it frustrated a lot of people that Snoke came to such a sticky end so quickly, but I love that big scene in the relationship between Daisy Ridley's character and Snoke. And where it goes from there and what escalates from that moment, you could know the fight that kicks off after that. So I really think it's great in the movie, but yeah, I could quite happily. I'd be very happy to extend Snoke's life for sure.
I just have him be a floating torso.
To offer a little bit of my thoughts on that, as far as Luke's death goes,
Yeah.
I was actually fine with that.
Yeah, Luke's death was
I actually
fine.
liked that part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like it felt earned
Yeah.
to me, and I think Rey said later when they're on the Falcon with Leia and the entire Rebel Alliance.
They had the rest of them.
Yeah.
And like two ports.
When it's just like it was like there was no pain that he left with peace and purpose.
Yeah.
Is what she said. So I thought it was a fitting end.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to him returning later as a
ghost.
Force ghost or even not as a Force ghost. Force ghost. Even if it's just like a voice.
Yeah.
That'll
Like
do.
Obi-Wan originally did, yeah, like.
But I would rather have him not return than have some kind of he's actually alive
Yeah.
kind of thing, because
They already did that with Leia.
it's one of those things that it just starts to get too weird
Yeah.
for me, because we've talked about this before. It is okay to take risks in Star Wars to keep new stuff going and the story moving forward. That's what a lot of people praise Empire Strikes Back for doing. It's sort of like pushing that boundary. But at the same time, there are limits
Yeah.
to those risks, I think, to where it gets a little too weird. But yeah, there's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. And obviously, that J.J. Abrams will be directing Episode 9, and so if he's going to be willing to take risks, I don't know, because he didn't seem too willing with The Force Awakens.
And I can't.
Maybe that was Disney's fault, but
No, yeah, because I can't entirely blame him for that, because when you're starting a new Star Wars trilogy and you want to get off on the right foot to make sure that your rest of the trilogy can, go.
yeah,
So I don't entirely blame him for that, and and like you said, there may have been some studio meddling as well,
Yeah.
and Disney wanting to make sure that it was a success, and,
yeah. Disney's off for those cookie cutter type movies.
and so on and so forth. All right, Tim,
All
what do you
right.
have next?
So I will do Hearts of Iron 4 just because the other bit of news wasn't really too big.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I will do something else first. Something turned a year old today.
What's that?
The Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
It's been out for a year now.
okay, yeah,
It is
Go on.
the fastest selling console in America, beating out the PlayStation 2. It hasn't outsold the PlayStation 2 yet. PlayStation 2 is the most sold console ever.
But like the rate in a year.
Yeah, right in a year that it's sold, it's better than the PS2. It's sold over 1 million more than the Wii U has, or at least more than the Wii U has.
And 1 million more well on the way.
Yeah, 1 million more well on the way. It already has a bunch of games that would never come to it, would never come to the Wii U,
Yeah.
and it's possibly getting Diablo on it. Which would make the
Yes.
first Blizzard title on Nintendo console in 15 years.
What was the last one that they did?
Probably the other Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with.
15 years ago would be 2003, which would mean be on the GameCube.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
probably not Diablo with a GameCube controller.
No.
Yeah,
No, probably.
so probably not. Maybe probably when Blizzard's shooters or
Just
something.
a passing question connected to the Switch. Have you played Breath of the Wild?
No, I have not.
Yeah. Okay. I have not been able to either.
I've played
Despite
Mario
the fact that I really want to.
I've played two-player Mario Odyssey, though, and I can say that's very fun.
You like?
In two-player Mario Odyssey, one person's the Mario, one person's the hat.
Oh, okay.
And so what happens is Mario runs around, the hat kind of has to fall. The
Yeah,
hat has a radius around Mario, but he can go freely. And like as the hat, I would just go completely off screen and friend would get mad. But as the hat, it was in the major theme of Mario Odyssey is you take control of things. So if my friend took control of someone, like if he was the octopus that squirts water and can go high up, I could be the hat and come off the octopus and just circle him around.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
the funnest thing we did was we were playing with Pauline, who's the lady from Donkey Kong, who's the mayor of New Donk City, and we were like we were messing around with her. And what happened was, with a hat, if it's two players, instead of being on his head, he'll just float around. So what happened was, my friend has a video of this. He's standing there, and the hat comes off his head, which is me.
Yeah.
I turn around and just start. I press a button where he throws me, and I just continually throw myself into Pauline. I just press the button over and over again, and you just go. Bum, 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 bum. It's hilarious.
So Mario had a seizure. Just a little
Mario
bit.
had a seizure, and she just went. Bum, 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 bum. And then there was a band there, and I just started beating the band. Go. They hit the drum.
Yeah.
Hit
Good
the drum
job.
and just continually makes drum sounds. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Well, I've also heard very great things about Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey.
So, yeah, if I ever get the chance, I'll definitely have to play both games.
If you want to play Breath of the Wild, it's also on the Wii U.
Yes.
I heard it does run faster than the Wii U because the Switch its entire console is the tablet. So it just runs a bit faster than the Wii U.
At the same time, though, I don't think my Wii U works anymore. That doesn't?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Shall we
Like
feel?
I think it's something wrong with the. No, it's the Wii U. I was thinking
Yeah.
it's the HDMI cord. but
No. Yeah, I think it's the console. So, yeah.
Right to the Wii U.
Yeah. Because I was wanting to, but oh well.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
A time will come
The time will
for
come.
that to happen.
All right. I'll let you go on to your next piece.
My last bit of news here is also Star Wars related, where the composer, John Williams, talking about Episode 9, says he thinks that Episode 9 will have more to say about Rey's parentage.
She's a Palpatine.
Yeah. Go for Palpatine. And he says, appearing on a classic public radio station, he said, Rey's parents might be identified to us in the next film. Saying, when pressed about Ren's admission or potential omission, depending on how Episode 9 plays out, Williams added, I don't believe it either. Ray, of course, referring to the Parent Two Nobodies thing. I don't believe it either. Ray, of course, is played by Disney Ridley, who I loved in The Force Awakens. And last year, when Lucasfilm president Kathy Kennedy rang me up and said, "Would you do the last music for The Last Jedi?" I said to her, "Is Daisy in it?" And she said yes. So I said yes. So I've always liked, of course, I've always loved John Williams and what he does for Star Wars. We've said before that if there's one thing that's really consistent
It's
in the Star
music.
Wars universe, it's John Williams and his music.
Yeah.
And I do remember also reading, like in some Force Awakens behind the scenes, that John Williams had a very strong connection with Rey as a character for the theme that he composed, and and with Daisy as well in her performance. So we will see whether or not some parental lineage stuff happens.
Before I go into my thing, did you hear about the leaked original intro for The Force Awakens? That was like the script came out or something.
No.
Well, basically, it was a flashback to the Battle of Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
It had a Star Destroyer being destroyed and would fall to Jakku and crash.
Oh wait.
And then it would open up with Daisy Ridley opening with Rey opening up the cabinet. I guess.
Huh.
Whatever.
Wait, I think okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that was recent. I just saw it recently. So
Yeah, I think me too.
yeah.
I'd see, so it's like Force Awakens. I thought it was like originally just like something fan made.
It might have been.
But I don't know.
All right. So last bit of news: Hearts of Iron 4 got a new deal. Is getting a new DLC in 5 days. Getting its first new update in a year in about a week.
He's checking his calendar at the corner of our screen.
Yeah. Basically, the new update's called "Waking the Tiger," named after a book that was about China in World War II. Is a DLC about China, obviously.
Okay. Well, I
It'll
hope so.
have the focus trees to China, the People's Republic of China. It might Manchukuo as well, the puppet of Japan at the time.
Yes.
And then maybe Menduko, which is another puppet of Japan and China.
So remind me, when Hearts of Iron 4 was released?
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a little more recent than I originally thought. Okay.
Yeah. It has 3 DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
Together for Victory, which focuses on the British Commonwealth.
Yes.
Death or Dishonor, which focuses on the Balkan states.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you can either choose death by the Germans or the Soviet Union, or dishonor by going with either side.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then Waking the Tiger
Uh-huh.
is basically
It's going to be the third.
It's going to be the third. It's basically its slogan is China has been dishonored and dishonored and disavowed during World War I, and then they'll fight together for victory for now.
Oh.
Because China's completely broken apart at that time.
Okay. I see.
So they'll fight the foreign invaders, the Japanese. And with that, there comes a bunch of new stuff. Like we have divisions in the game. Ian knows that a bit.
A little bit based off of our
Yeah,
experience
you have,
together.
You have tanks, you have infantry, you have cavalry, the basic ones, but they're adding a new one with the DLC. Motorized, as in bikes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But they also are
Fast.
They're also introducing like marshals, like field marshals and other stuff. Because you have generals, which lead certain armies. Then you have field marshals, and apparently a lot of people hate it already.
Really?
Yeah. It's supposed to make
particular reason.
It's supposed to make your lines easier. So like your front lines and your war, it just makes it a ton more complicated and a lot worse to get used to.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
like the one guy who I follow on Twitter about it, he said it makes it super complicated, and he's really good at the game. Like, I mean, really good.
Yeah, but now.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to do. Like, one of his videos that he has is him like as Finland fighting the USSR, and what he does is he's willing to retreat. He's not like I can't retreat from this line. He's like, I'm willing to retreat to this line. Have the Soviet Union take that. And he like builds forts. He builds like the certain retreat line where they can't retreat, which I don't know how to do. I know how to build forts, and then he gets the Soviet Union up to like 5 million casualties till he starts pushing, which he does fairly frequently.
Oh.
So basically, he builds a wall of dead Soviets before he starts pushing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you now, because you like to do a lot of funny things.
Yeah.
When you play Hearts of Iron 4, what would you do as China?
If I get the DLC, which probably won't be for a while if I do, the DLC probably introduces a lot of stuff and it's Tibet, which they do normally anyway. Like just introduce a lot more war and introduce an easier way to turn fascist or communist. Because China's not aligned; it just has a monarchy. The People's Republic of China is obviously communist,
Right.
led by Mao.
Mm-hmm.
Manchukuo's fascist, and Manchukuo is also fascist. They're both puppets of Japan at the time.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it's just kind of like little war with certain people. If you're Manchukuo, what the DLC will probably let you do is become your own free nation again instead of being a puppet. But that's also introduced into
I see. Yeah.
Together for Victory. It also adds a new part of the focus tree for Germany, because they have like a thing where they can ally with China or ally with Japan in their focus tree, and they always do ally with Japan because they're stronger most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they're fleshing out the ally with China one.
Okay.
Yeah, because they already have a fleshed out ally with Japan.
I see.
They're fleshing it out with ally with China. So yeah, and then the deal and then the update coming in about a week will get rid of national unity, which just says is like if you have strong national unity, you're less likely to lead a civil war. It'll be faster to justify war. If you have lower, more likely civil war, harder to justify war. But now it's war popularity and something else. War popularity. If you have a high war popularity, then it's easy to justify war. If you have like democracies start with like a 20 war popularity most of the time.
I see. I see.
Especially the U.S. would probably start with a 10% to like Pearl Harbor or something, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's about. No, I got to talk about that.
Well, there we go.
All right.
Speaking along the lines of video games, what is our mandatory meeting today?
It's about Metal Gear.
Well, what is...
Psychomantis.
Oh dear.
Psychomantis.
Metal Gear Survive. So it's been a long time since we did a video game episode.
Battlefront 2.
But yeah, and Battlefront 2 was our second episode.
Is it in the third? Yeah, one of those two.
Yeah, second episode of the podcast in our first season.
Yeah.
Where we talked about Star Wars Battlefront 2. So now that we're talking about Metal Gear Survive today, I thought about it this morning, where I think it's just kind of funny that apparently when we talk about video games, it's always the controversial ones that aren't very good.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one day though we'll just talk about a game that we both really like and really enjoy, and that'll be fun times.
Oh yeah. So, tell me,
Ian, who made Metal Gear Survive? Was it Hideo Kojima?
No, it was not. It was
Konami.
the lovely company we know as Konami.
What has Konami done in recent years? Besides fire Kojima, disavow him. And
That's really the big thing.
yeah. Like, all Konami did in recent years was make the Phantom Pain, which was really good.
I just never... They fired the guy that made them successful.
Yeah, because they didn't want to be... I guess he was... I think... Didn't they say he was like taking too much charge or something?
I don't know. Well,
Probably.
speaking of taking too much charge,
Yeah.
look in the mirror, Konami. But here's the thing. I've never really been a big follower of Metal Gear
I like Metal Gear.
or Kojima or Konami.
Yeah.
But when I heard about the thing that Kojima was fired, and the thing where he was not allowed to accept an award.
Yeah, the Game Awards. That was stupid.
Yeah, and Konami was just like, "Oh, we are preventing it." And I was just like, I was never that big of a follower of Metal Gear and Kojima's work, but it's like when I saw that, I'm just like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
It's like, because I was aware that Metal Gear was a very popular series. I was aware that it was a series of really well-made games, and that Hideo Kojima was a really good creator. He had lots of great ideas.
Yeah.
I knew I had that background information, so when I saw this stuff, I'm just like, what the heck is going on?
I think, didn't the guy say, the reporter of the Game Awards say, a lawyer talked to him that day.
Yeah, it was a lawyer.
From Konami that told him he was not allowed to go to the Game Awards at all.
How pathetic is that? It was a lawyer. It wasn't even like someone directly from,
Yeah.
like, from the top of Konami. They just got a lawyer to tell Kojima that.
You're disposable.
And of course, the entire audience was,
Booing, yeah.
Which they should have.
Yeah.
Which they should have. Yeah.
Freaking idiotic of them.
So, here we are now.
So Konami decided they could make more Metal Gear. Metal Gear.
Because
They're Konami.
oh my word.
And they
Because,
decided
They wanted to be hip and rad with the cool kids today and do everyone's favorite genres, zombie games and survival.
And survival games. They took their most prized game license.
Their only game license, pretty much.
Their only game license, pretty much, yes. With Metal Gear. And they were just like, you know what? We need to make money. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a zombie game.
Yeah.
We're gonna take survival game. The two genres in video gaming right now that are arguably the most oversaturated
Yes.
and the genres that people are most tired of.
Oh yeah.
And then they decide to pick those two, mush it together, release a game, and it's less than mediocre. It's just garbage.
Yeah. The only survivor game I've liked recently is Breath of the Wild. It doesn't even require you to eat food or craft anything. It's just eating food as your health.
Yeah.
And it also, with the new DLC, that gave you a motorcycle.
That's right. Yes.
You can feed the motorcycle for food. That's how you fuel it. You feed the motorcycle actual food. So it's like not even like with Metal Gear Survive. You have to eat. You have to drink.
As you know, just to preface, like most of our information we're talking about here comes from Video Game Donkeys video on a little video on Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Jim Sterling, and the first few minutes of Angry Joe shows little Metal Gear Survive review.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing at another time, but
I'm mostly from the internet.
we've seen
Enough.
enough to be able to detect
Yeah.
that it's crap.
Yeah, it's total crap. And they try to do the EA thing as well with their save slots.
The save slot controversy.
Yeah.
So basically, you create a character at the beginning of the game, and that's your character for the rest of the game. But say you want to make a new character, some people beat the game and want to do it. If you like Metal Gear Survives enough somehow, you might want to make a new character. But if you want to delete your old character and make a new one, you have to pay $10 extra.
When Tim told me this, I was especially upset because, well, even paying to make a new slot,
Yeah.
was it $10?
Yeah.
Okay, so even paying to make a new slot is enough, but then paying to delete something is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I think it's, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't.
Was that always in the game?
I think so.
Okay, so
I think
maybe that was their plan for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like because that's something that you can put in fairly quickly. So like the game was made, and obviously the game appears to have been made fairly quickly anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like it was made in less than half a year, because it was just using the Fox engine
Yeah.
and its assets, and that was it. Sorry, let me restart. Some of its assets, if any at all, that are unique to
Yeah.
that engine.
Oh, they haven't created new ones. They have to make the zombies with the rhino horns.
No.
Yeah. Why do they have rhino horns? It's idiotic.
And even then, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Like there's
no difference.
There's like two variations. There's one with
Brown shirt, one with white shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or it's either white shirt or it's like pale shirtless, but there's no engaging thing about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The best way to beat the game from three video game reviewers, you put up a fence and you take your spear and you stab the zombies on the fence.
Is there actually like a beat the game kind of thing, or is it just survival?
It's just survive. Like I'm sure there's a story, but I don't think there's like you finish the story.
I don't think it's any good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just lets you go on after that. Because with the pay $10 extra for a new save slot, which I'm pretty sure the new save slot probably deletes your old one. That's probably what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah, that made more sense than what we originally thought. But still,
thanks, Konami.
Yeah. I pay the $10 extra, and I'm pretty sure, in order to keep players engaged and say you don't have to pay the $10 extra, it probably just continues on from there. It's probably has a bunch of collectathon type crap all over the place.
So yeah, but like Tim had mentioned, and I think there was something where I was going somewhere earlier and then just forgot about it, and maybe it'll come back later. But as Tim had mentioned earlier, just a little bit ago, about the real way to be successful in the game is to put up fence and use spear.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because like I had said, they had the Fox engine, which is designed for the Metal Gear 5, which is a very cool engine. You can do lots of cool stuff in there, as you could see in Phantom Pain. And then it's just really limited to your melee weapons, and the spear is the only one that really is useful.
Yeah,
and
it takes them forever to swing like a bat or a machete at all.
Yeah, and You like we said, you set up a fence and you just endlessly jab over and over, or stand on top of something
Yeah.
because
They can't climb.
they can't climb unless it's a fence.
Unless it's a fence.
Unless it's a fence, they can't climb it. So you just like stand on, even if it's a rock like 5 feet high, and you just then spear away,
Yeah.
and really unengaging enemies.
Yeah, that's enjoyable right
Because
there.
there's no variety,
Yeah.
like we said. It's just 2 types,
Uh-huh.
and even not even types. No, it's just 2 different variations of the same model. Oh my!
Yeah.
And Jim Sterling's video pointing out his Jimpressions video of Metal Gear Survive talked about how the only actual cool thing that you could consider in the game was when a bunch of the zombies like started pushing on a fence and then made it collapse,
Yeah.
or the fact that they could climb over, and that's like the only actual cool thing that happens in the game, and other than that it's just really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad design and gameplay, and
Like the other Metal Gear games, it's each one brought something new to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
As you're looking at with the Metal Gear 3
Mhm.
Snake Eater, it was a survival game.
Mhm.
You survived in the jungle. That's what you did. Metal Gear 1, it was had a lot of weird stuff with the Psycho Mantis. And
Mhm.
it brought a whole new stealth element to gaming.
it was sort of a revolution
Yeah.
as far as stealth gaming and storytelling was.
Yeah. Did you know what you had to do to beat Psycho Mantis?
What?
Basically, because it was PlayStation 1 only.
Yeah.
And then eventually GameCube.
Mhm.
But what would happen was you'd have to Psycho Mantis would make you unable to move, and how you're trapped. And if you called the guys to help you, they would tell you take your controller, unplug it, and plug it into the player 2 slot. And then
That's right. I remember now that Metal Gear is actually a very meta
yeah,
game series,
it is
or
very-
it can be at times rather. Yeah.
And then there's Metal Gear 2 where the first mission, Snake's gone.
Yeah.
You have to play someone else. And then Metal Gear 4, it tries to explain the whole thing. The final cutscene's like an hour and a half.
Yes. I remember having a conversation with Tony. We were playing Depth, so we're fighting sharks.
Yeah.
And trying to collect treasure. And we just talked about Metal Gear or rather he was because like I said I didn't know that much.
Yeah.
So he was rather talking to me and telling me about Metal Gear stuff, and I would ask him questions, and we would do that for I think 3 matches.
Yeah.
So and he would be describing to me the different kinds of things at the end, and he mentioned the
Hour and a half
very
cutscene.
long cutscenes that you see in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Isn't Snake die in that one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Um,
Because in the 5th one he plays Big Boss.
yeah, but back to the. Well, actually, I think Metal Gear Solid 4 is the last one chronologically in the series. Is what I've heard. Is what Tony had
Yeah,
spoken
'cause
to me about.
In
Yeah.
Metal Gear Survive, the opening cutscene, Snake's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, back to the thing where you were talking about, each game brought something new to the table.
Yeah.
With this innovation. Phantom Pain had the open world
Oh yeah.
and your ability to do your objectives and your missions in dozens of different ways.
Oh yeah.
However you wanted, as long as you completed the objective, you were good to go. So as you can see, while we're describing all these things, Metal Gear Survive has none.
Yeah. Has no variety. One way
Yeah.
to beat the missions. No stealth,
Yeah.
pretty much. Because it's just zombies.
Yeah,
And it's buggy.
it's a buggy mess. Yes,
It's It's open world, but you.
it's covered in fog
Yeah,
all
covered
the
in fog.
time, and even then it makes the game look cheap.
Yeah.
Which the engine isn't, because once again the Fox engine.
Phantom Pain took a while to make.
Yeah, and the way that the visuals in Phantom Pain look with that new engine,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. But in Metal Gear Survive, you just always have this constant fog overlay, and it really makes the game look cheap.
Yeah.
Like it's a really bad Steam indie game that you get off of the green
Well,
light.
it really should be just a
Direct
really bad
link,
Steam
yeah.
mini game. Yeah.
Hey,
What else?
because there was the opening cutscene.
Where they open a portal for some reason.
Where the game slaps you in the face. It's like, hey, look, it's the characters that you like.
Yeah.
They're not in this game.
Yeah.
It's like you get to watch them
Well,
leave.
There's a giant portal opening up, and Metal Gear isn't always away from its sci-fi.
Mhm.
You have Psycho Mantis, which takes control people. You have the giant metal gears, which probably shouldn't exist in the 40s and
Mhm.
60s. And like this guy in Metal Gear 3, in the intro before that song comes up,
Yeah.
basically what happens.
The song that we played in the beginning,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, basically what happens is he shoots a nuke at you from like a bazooka.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Like, they're willing to just be funny and like introduce like
Yeah, and the thing
sci-fi
is,
things.
It,
But that, like,
it was the suspense of disbelief.
Yeah.
Because as long as you set the rules in the world,
yeah,
it was like, yes, this takes place in the 50s and the 60s, right?
yeah,
But we have this kind of new technology, right? This sort of hyper version,
Metal
this
Gear.
sort of hyper version of reality.
yeah,
But it had suspense of disbelief. It had its boundaries. It never like threw in anything like, oh, here's an interdimensional portal
oh yeah.
out
It's
of
like,
nowhere. I feel like that was Konami trying to be like, it's like we need to try and copy the
Kojima.
genius of Kojima. It's like, so we're gonna do something weird, but not intelligent.
Yeah, like with the other Metal Gear games, all their stuff was intelligent or subtle or very little. Like Psycho Mantis was like one character who could do that,
Yeah.
and the nuke on a bazooka is just I don't know if it happens again. I just remember
Yeah.
it happens in the opening cutscene. And it's not like it's something huge.
Kojima has a creative vision,
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that can go for the entire game industry right now, is that there's lots of people out there, developers, that have amazing creative vision. They want to make something really cool, but it's the executives and the people in charge that don't have the creative vision, because they're businessmen.
yeah.
So they're just interested in making the profits and selling the product.
Maybe that's
And-
why Kojima was fired. Maybe he just wanted to stop at 5, and then they said,
I think that may have been the reason, is that one, or at least one of them,
yeah,
but because I'm sure there was a multitude of reasons, and I'm sure the ever dedicated gaming community out there, because when the game community gets together,
yeah,
when fans get together against something, it really works.
yeah,
The loot box controversy in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is evidence of that.
yeah.
Um,
But they're back.
But yeah, then again, as like I think we had mentioned, I told you before, if it wasn't for Disney telling EA to stop,
Yeah.
it may not have stopped anyway. But it was still something to see of all the people come together and be like, no,
Yeah,
we don't like this. So I'm hoping to see something like that for Metal Gear Survive.
Mhm.
Because it's going to be like one of those things where you're going to look at your entire series and you're going to be like, each of these are fantastic games, except for that last one.
yeah. That one just shouldn't exist.
It's like, get rid of it completely, please. Because it seemed to me that it just doesn't look rushed. When I remember like the announcement that it was going to come out, and I was just like, my gosh, it's like this was fast. And then the game came out even quicker than it was announced, and I was just like, you guys literally spent I don't even know how long on this. Like so.
See when it's announced.
Yeah.
We're pressed for content anyway.
Yeah. Pressed for content. Yeah. I told Tim earlier I was kind of worried about this episode about whether or not we'd be able to
We can end a bit early.
do it. Metal Gear Survive.
Shot. Announcement.
Let's see.
Development.
It appears to be.
It was announced in 2016.
Yeah.
They didn't have a name.
Yeah, during Gamescom 2016.
It was not the first time the zombie game was toyed with. As Hideo Kojima said in 2013, he always wanted to make one during Metal Gear Solid 5's development.
Difference is, back in 2013, zombie games were still a thing.
Yeah.
Well, even then, I'd make an argument that if Kojima, helmed a zombie Metal Gear,
It probably would have made
then
better.
he would have done better.
Yeah.
He would have done a lot better. And it was released February 2018, as we know.
When was it officially announced the name of the game? A demo was revealed, but it probably wasn't
Well, here's something from Kojima. During the stage presentation at Tokyo Game Show in September 2016, Hideo Kojima was asked if he had anything to do with Metal Gear Survive. He stated that the game had nothing to do with him. The Metal Gear series is about political fiction and espionage, and zombies do not fit into his vision in the series.
Despite his previous remarks concerning sequel to Metal Gear Revengeance with Zombies.
He jokingly said that Metal Gear Survive would have mechs if he worked on it.
Well, it does have a mech that
Yeah.
breaks easily.
Oh dear. It's really sad. Oh my, okay. Debuting at the 6th position in the UK sales chart, Metal Gear Survive sold 85% less copies than Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and only 5% of the copies sold by The Phantom Pain at debut.
Phantom Pain almost sold 6 million.
6 million
Yeah.
copies. 6 million copies.
And only was the PlayStation 4 version.
Yeah.
Only sold 31,000 copies. It said down there.
Oh my word. You pathetic little thing.
I'll rip this.
Rip.
It does have a cool cover. I'll just say that.
Even then, I don't like it that much.
No, but
Not really.
look at the Metal Gear covers and everything. Look at the Metal Gear
Yeah.
game. Yeah. So, I think we'll probably just stop right
It's
there.
just really sad. I think as a way to end this, because
Yeah.
I'm sure there are...
Metal Gear.
I can tell you that there are people out there, not just Angry Joe or Video Game Donkey or Jim Sterling, that do regular discussion on video games, like video game news and
Yeah.
and controversies and all that. Those are good sources that we recommend you watch. But there are also Metal Gear people out there that know a lot more
About-
than we do about
Yeah.
this, and have much more passion than we do.
And we'll know a lot more than we do.
Yeah. So
Don't take everything we say
yeah.
as facts.
Don't think that we are the definitive opinion source on all things Metal Gear. We are far from that.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make an episode about it. So I think I'll close by making the last point here.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
It's like
Psycho Mantis.
take this as another example of the bad that exists within the video game industry, and to keep yourself updated, go to the reliable sources, because they are out there, about whether or not to buy these things.
Yeah.
And
Never pre-order
yeah.
a game.
So, make sure you do support games that are innovative and are interesting and are creative.
You don't have to necessarily buy a game.
No,
think
but you
that's good,
can
but-
support it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
say, you can spread the word that this is a good game if you
Yeah.
know it's a good game.
It's like one of the things that I did with Battlefront 2 was to try to tell as many people as possible not to buy the game, and I think it worked. I don't know, maybe they still wasted their money, but in which case I pity them.
Pity the fool.
But actually, to give you an example,
Yeah.
I told a group of friends not to purchase the game, and they were asking me why. So I told them all the things that EA was doing in the game with the loot boxes, the microtransactions, the crappy progression system, and it was news to them. They were not aware of it because they were only looking at the official advertising stuff. They weren't looking at the people that are out there that do the dirty work to look at what the game actually is.
Yeah.
So, you guys, I deeply recommend that you do that so as to keep yourself informed, keep yourself aware. Another good YouTuber to watch is Young Ye. He does a lot of daily video game news to keep you updated on those kind of things, and I highly recommend you do it so as to be a sensible and a reasonable gamer.
All right. That's good. I agree with
Welcome
you.
to HR.
Welcome to HR.
Welcome to Human Resources.
Do you have anything for HR? Because I have something.
Negatory.
Do you want to apologize to Caden?
Oh, that's true. Yes. Here we go.
Microphone.
Hand me the microphone. I'm holding the microphone now.
Yes, he is.
Caden, if you're at this point in this episode, I would like to apologize for my stupidity in the last episode in the comment section. I apologize for continuing the trend that the comment section is a weird place.
Yes. Comment
But,
means dumb again.
Yes, you have my permission this time to say
Everyone
that. But
comment means dumb.
but again, I would just like to thank you again for making me the mixtape. and for dealing with my mistake.
All right, so I do have something for HR as well. My dad was in his Spanish class.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he heard a kid.
I thought your
talking-
dad was dead.
Well, he was in.
That's an inside joke between
Yeah,
us.
it's inside.
Yeah, he's not actually done. No.
No, but he was in his ghost Spanish class, and he heard a kid named Caden talking about me, and he's like, "What have you heard of my son?" He's like, "On the IT department." And my dad's like, "My kid's a student, not an IT guy." And then he realized,
Oh.
and he said it was Caden.
That's
Duncan,
good.
but I don't know. Maybe it was Caden Hilton. Caden, was that you? Caden Hilton, was that
We
you?
have to know. What did you mean by ghost class?
Well, because he's dead.
Oh, I thought you said. What I heard was your Spanish dad's like ghost Spanish class, as in like the class was a ghost, and I thought that was like an analogy for something that like it's a class that never talks or something.
I don't know. But Caden, if it's Caden Duncan, congratulations. My dad got their name wrong. Sorry, other Caden, which might be Caden Hilton, but you.
One of you. Either way, this is a shout out to all the Cadens in the world.
Yeah. We believe in you, Caden. If your name is Caden,
Believe.
your name is Caden, and you've made it to this point in the podcast, comment, "Yes, I'm in Tim's dad's ghost Spanish class."
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end it now.
Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week.
All right, goodbye.